Who would have thought a beanied individual would be such a incredible threat? A guy whose opinions are often described as milk toast or fence sitting has been enduring essentially non-stop insanity. People sending the PD to his house nearly daily. I think the number is up to 20, 15, 20 times. Now it's just a thing that he gets reported, that it's like every night. And now there was a credible threat on his life. So bad that he had to cancel their show at the Redneck Riviera tonight because I guess it's legit. So he tweeted out, "Bad news, due to a credible threat against me, our show at the Redneck Riviera has been canceled. I said F 'em, but I was warned other people could get hurt. We can't risk other people's safety. The threat was compounded by intel suggesting an attempt was actually being made." And then he wants to know if he can watch The Secrets of Dumbledore, Chinese version, a joke about gay Dumbledore. This is actually, relatively insane. At the end of his live stream here, he's at John Rich's house. He addresses it. Let's see, hold on a sec here.
I'm getting a little worn out. I think we're good.
Everybody, we got a big day ahead of us. That very well may have been the last song of the day.
I think so.
I think there is a capo around here.
All right, I think I'm gonna wrap it up.
We got a capo. All right, ladies and
Take a look at Nashville, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for hanging out. They try to get us down. They try to stop the show, but we'll find a way. And I was saying earlier that we were gonna play out in Nashville, downtown, but some real creepy stuff happened. We'll keep some of the details under wraps for security reasons, but basically there was some information that led people to believe, the authorities, that people had been preparing for something, which is it's new to me. But there was also some direct threats made, and as much as I can say, screw them, I'll go and do it anyway, nobody else wants to. Everybody else is really worried. So other people can get hurt. I can't put people at risk, but we'll play. We'll jam. We'll hang out.
I know he's telling you guys he's going to end, but
there we go.
We got an encore call for Little People.
I can't do it.
Well, you can do anything, Tim, and you know it.
We're
gentlemen,
done.
I love you.
Thanks.
So, yeah, he doesn't play Will the People. Unfortunate. Letting people down, Tim. Not my style of music, but hey, you do you. So, this, of course, is on the... And what's interesting is, of course, I don't believe for 1 second that Tim is lying about this. He's absolutely telling the truth. Some have criticized him for publicizing each and every time he got, these SWAT attempts to embolden the people. That's, I suppose, a different argument. I would probably agree with that. I don't report when weird people do weird things. I talked about somebody coming on my property and like spray painting on my shed. That was like a year or two ago. If I had covered it at the time, well, now there's cameras out there and things that you don't want to step on. So, that was a one-time occurrence. And the person that did it, let's just say, deeply regretted it. And, I think, you can kind of embolden these people. I feel bad, for his fans that, wanted to see him. Of course, you see the Kufinist. He doesn't like Tim, right? So people are supposed to risk their jobs and futures for your political ends, but you can't even show up and do a show? Well, I mean, it may not have even been his choice. He may have been like, the venue said no. Literally. He might not have had any control over it. And you don't really even have to go back that far. I mean, this has basically been something that's been going on since January. With this article, this was, I think, right after he had kind of divisive political figure Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think it was one of the bigger high-profile ones. You know, you see here, Poole disclosed the incident was, quote, worse than the previous time. He did not give many details because of an ongoing security risk. He said that he intends to update security to, quote, an extreme degree. People are going to get nuts in 2022. What the what the F were we talking about that warranted trying to get our lives ended? Earlier this month, Poole also was swatted on another IRL. Someone called the police and said something horrible had gone on. Now, you know, at the time I offered a $10,000 reward, and, you know, there were a few interested parties, but they didn't really seem like they were, well, some of them were memers, and there was really no solid evidence at the time. There may be, you know, by the way, if you're in Nashville, maybe rethink going out downtown tonight, because I don't know what he means about, you know, they were planning for something. I'm not sure what that means. If that's like just Tim related or something else, you know, Nashville gets absolutely packed, downtown Nashville, on weekend nights. So, I mean, I don't know. You know, I think, you know, a lot of people here on Twitter are like, you know, this is why hasn't the person who did it been arrested? Well, I assume it was anonymous. Also, it's situations like these where the Second Amendment was invented. Use it. Tim Poole may have canceled the show out of the goodness of his own heart, but it's a bad precedent for him. Yeah, but again, we don't know. You know, we don't know if the venue got it and they were just like, no. I mean, we went through this with the myth-informed people. Like everywhere they were hosting, they were getting all sorts of threats, and then they get these venues force them to pay like an enormous amount for security, where it makes like the event, you know, very difficult to make financially viable. So these venues don't want to take the risk. You know, the left thinks, you know, the idea that Tim believes he's important enough to fabricate and a deletion attempt is funnier than him going. I mean, I don't know. Of course, the left is going to say I don't believe it, but if it had happened to if it had happened to a prominent leftist, we would be told. Well, now he's trending, of course. We would be told that, you know, we need to listen and believe. It's weird that it's weird. This on the Daily Wire. Popular podcast host Tim Poole announced Saturday that he had to cancel his upcoming musical appearance at John Rich's Redneck Riviera Bar and Barbecue in Nashville due to a credible threat against his life. Poole, the host of Timcast, told his followers that he wanted to continue with his appearance despite the apparent danger, but that continuing with the show could put others at risk. I mean, that's fair. Country music star John Rich and co-founder of the whiskey brand Redneck Riviera and the restaurant chain and bar of the same name tweeted his regret that Poole's performance had to be canceled. I hate this, but downtown Nashville on a Saturday is absolutely packed. The safety of the people comes first, the co-founding member of the band Big and Rich tweeted. Poole hosts one of the most popular shows on the internet, recently told his audience that he'd been swatted 8 times this year alone. Okay, so I was close with 10. Given the seriousness of the threats alleged, authorities typically arrive prepared for the worst. He's talking about what swatting is, you know. We all know. We're on the internet. I suppose some boomers at the Daily Wire probably don't, know what it is. But on Saturday, Poole surprised his fans with a live show from John Rich's house in lieu of his appearance at the Redneck Riviera. His musical talents can be seen here. I don't really care. So yeah, obviously he's a colleague in the YouTube commentating space. We don't cover for sure the exact same topics, but this sucks for him. This sucks for fans that were probably going to see it. He seemed to have cozy up to the Daily Wire people. Jeremy Boring tweeted terrible news. This is the stuff that people have to deal with if they're not a leftist. When you're like Ben Shapiro, Steven Crowder, all these people have to pay insane amounts of for insurance and for, I'm sorry, for security. Look, it happens. I'm like, I've told you about this before. It's like legally documented. You can go look up the case. You know, was just minding my own business at like 2 o'clock in the morning at someplace in downtown Indianapolis, and some lunatic attacked me because he didn't like my YouTube videos. There are people out there that will do this stuff. So, you know, safety first, and, you know, hope Tim stays safe. I have a feeling he'll be moving his compound further into the wilderness. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.